Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, November the 29th, 2016. And these are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. I put on a trade here. It's a three contract trade, 15 tick stop. And the reason I did this is because since this morning, the CL has been in a pretty tight range. And you can see this range right here, right around the opening. We had this kind of this battle back and forth. You can see these large trends. It's really about a 50 tick range, right from the top to the bottom. Now, overnight we had a fairly significant decline, but there's an overshoot here. And now, so I would look at two measured moves down that broke through this bottom channel here, and right at this bottom it is a turnaround pattern. Price tried to go down the first time, failed, went down the second time, and then kind of messed around a bit here, and I think there's buyers kind of trying to step in the market because I believe it's oversold. So as a turnaround at this point, this juncture, we had the break of this trend channel, and because it overshot the measured move. I think the measured move was down to here. We had the pullback, and then we had the second leg that came down. I was expecting it maybe to break through this channel. Some hesitation here. You can see the slight pullback, but then price fell off. So I put on three contracts, and really right when this bar closed here, I see that when you add these bars together, it looks like it's a bit of a turnaround. So I've got 15 ticks off at 45.10. Second contract at 25. Now, once the price gets to the when it gets to 10 ticks, I may move it up to break even, but I'm looking at this, at least this first target being hit, and then sitting on it. Perhaps price will get to this area right here. Now, where do I see this hesitation? The hesitation really occurred right along this line right here. This is where you can see where price stacked up. So we had this decline, went into sideways, and then declined so forth now. Now we're over 10 ticks, and so if you move this to break even, oh, there's our first contract. So the first contract's off, and now we move it to two contracts. I'll sell two, and at break even, and looking for the second target at 45.25. So that kind of moved a little bit more quickly than I expected. I thought might have been. And the other thing is that when I put this on, notice where my 15 tick stop is below the low of the day. I was looking at, if we take a bigger view out here from how things worked out from the overnight, and then let's take a look at the overnight. Overnight, you can see that the decline is really like a spike in channel. So price is selling off overnight. It goes into the sideways, and this is before 9 o'clock, and now I've got it. I thought it just was an overshoot. I think that the price was kind of. I don't believe it's going to continue to go down. I think we're going to have somewhat of a rebound, and it looks like it's kind of taking place now. Price got some hesitation right at this level. Perhaps it might not get to. I've got my first 15 ticks off, and just trying to see if I can stretch it out to go to 25 here, which is 30 ticks. Hesitation right around the century mark, right around the $45 mark. When the price gets around those even numbers like that, they typically will there'll be hesitation, either sellers or buyers at those levels, generally speaking, because they're around numbers, I suppose. But you often see hesitation like that on the CL around those. The $45, $44, $45, $46 areas. Anytime that there's the century marks as far as pricing is concerned. So we'll just leave this go. It's only been in this trade for a really short time, less than 5 minutes, but it's working out positively for the time being. Now, as you see from this chart here, it broke through. We had first pullback, failed, and now we're going to get a second pullback down to here, or is price going to break upwards? Now, because of this initial move here, could very well have some steam. But once we get up to this mark, I mean, when we're at this point, we're so far ahead. I mean, we're ahead by fairly. There we go. There we go. Second contract's off. Now, moving to below the EMA. We'll stop it there. Someone in this neighborhood will track behind it. It's a reasonably good spot because it's behind here. And I'm looking for the target. Now, when we get to, let's say, the 45.27, it already kind of punched up here. Whether or not prices will make it to the other side of the this channel that we had, I kind of expect an overshoot here. In other words, if this is the Price should have enough momentum to get to this level. I mean, we revisited this early in the day, but there's some heavy, there was some selling pressure or some sideways motion right around this 45.36 mark. And so I'm thinking it'll get to here. How well it's done, how well it will get up here, or we can be turned down because of this area to the left right here. As you can see right around the 45. So that's how I'm sitting with it right now, and we'll just let it go and see how it works out. Okay, we're getting close to my target. Reasonable to move it up here. Below these areas, right in this area where I have to see some support. And we may make a break to this. You can see this emotional moves right here. When price got this area, this is at just about 10:30. When price got to this area, it kind of had we had this pullback area right in this neighborhood. And again, we're having tomorrow is the OPEC meeting, as I mentioned to yesterday when I did the recap. So that is perhaps causing some volatility anytime we get news like that. Especially when this is a big deal as far as a meeting is concerned, particularly when they're looking at either production freezes or cutbacks with regard to oil pricing. But not really interested in that, just looking at hopefully getting my target off at 45.50. Be a nice little move. Just leave it for the time being. And to emphasize this is just a free trade position right now. I mean, I've got my first two contracts off, one at 15 ticks, one at 30 ticks, not including the commissions. And that's, we're just at 1-to-1. And this is anytime right now I've got locked in an additional portion, and we got taken out. So you can see you got taken out in the pullback. If you look to the left, as I was alluding to, it had some difficulty getting here. Not saying that it will come all the way back down, but now we look at, let me just kind of draw the lines in here. If I draw the lines in here for where it says like support, and it might be a little bit higher than that, maybe a little bit steeper, perhaps to this area. Anyway, what we've seen here, what I would kind of, it's a pretty tight channel. Had the first pullback, second pullback. This is like two failures back to the EMA, maybe break the trend channel. Here's support right here. You could be inclined to take a trade with an expectation of prices heading up higher. But again, it's something to keep in mind, especially when you have this overlap. We did have, no question about it, we had this pullback because of, if you look at the left side of the chart, we had this hesitation earlier this morning. And we see that the buyers are encountering some stiffer selling pressure right at this level, anywhere from 45.30, let's say 45.27 to 45.40. So this zone has to be hesitation. How will it respond? Well, if we have other sellers enter the marketplace, price will come down. If we have other buyers enter the marketplace, price will go up. Or if sellers or buyers that are currently participating in the market give up their positions. Think of it from this perspective is that if you're a seller and your stop is above these areas here and you rode this all the way down to here, when price comes back up, the first thing that you do is, well, you maybe close out your position because of the fact that now you've already made your gains heading in this direction on the sell side. And so it only stands to reason that giving up your position, you'll sell out. And that's why there's hesitation for buyers to take price any higher. If all those contracts are purchased up, if buyers can step into this, then price will continue on that upward swing. And if that is in fact the case, how far will it usually go? Well, if we look at it from a measured move standpoint, if we have the first move up here, if we consider this as the first pullback, and then here's a second pullback to this area, then price perhaps will make it up. And once we break through this upper area here, where from the open, and the opening high is right at this area because this was after 9 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, this is like 9:30. Where did the open happen? This is earlier this morning. This is before the open. We had the sell-off. But you can see like a spike down. We have this channel, and now we've had this retracement back with the potential perhaps to this area. And that's where I had my target. So we'll keep watching it for the rest of the afternoon, or the rest of the morning, I mean. Well, there's only half an hour left before noon. And wait to see how it performs from there. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.